Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi everybody, I'm Ron Brewington and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography is an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard, Burbank, California. And attorney Ron Irwin's new book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart. And author Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, and State Farm agent Carla Green, who says, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Roll.
In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, KTLA recognizes Rodri Rodriguez for her contribution to the arts. Originally from Havana, Cuba, Rodri grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. In 1976, this multi-talented artist-producer founded the company that bears her name. Since then, Rodri Entertainment has produced numerous international live music events, including the world's preeminent Mariachi Festival, Mariachi USA.
Mariachi USA Festival belongs to the community. It's about the music, and it's about a community that has embraced it.
Today, she shares her passion by bringing music and performing arts education to school-age children across the West through her nonprofit organization, the Mariachi USA Foundation.
We are teaching them.
Ladies and gentlemen, as our first guest today, as you just heard, is a multi-talented artist and producer who also has a visionary cultural acts advocate. Her creative, spectacular live event productions have written a whole new chapter in the world of entertainment. Being in a field controlled by vested interests, she has made her voice heard single-handedly as a producer. She is I say again, the personification of a producer with a soul and capacity to uplift the human spirit. Please welcome Rodri J. Rodriguez.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes.
I was impressed. I want to meet her.
I wanted to meet her, too. When I read that, I said, wow, reading your resume is marvelous, ma'am. You have seen a lot in your years, need I tell you, especially in this business. So why mariachi?
Well, after producing so much jazz and pop and other Latin music, I thought it was time to give Los Angeles a world-class music, and what better place than a world-class venue, which has made Polestar's best venue in the United States for the last 16 years, the Hollywood Bowl. And then the rest is history, Ron.
Wow. So let's go back in your life.
Let's not go too far back, please.
Not too far back. But where were you born and raised at?
I was born in Havana, Cuba.
You see that picture right there, the one right there? Picture of
Yes.
Yes.
That's El Malecón.
Yes.
It doesn't exactly look like that right now because most of the buildings have toppled down.
Yes.
Interesting, because when the buildings topple down, they just clear the rubbish, and they put patio chairs, and they create a little park.
They call that renovation.
Yes, you call it. You see a building and then a little park, and then a building and a little park.
My goodness.
So, yes, I spent the first 7 years of my life in Havana. And then my parents sent me over on Operation Pedro Pan, which was the largest exodus of kids to North America ever. And there were 14,000 of us. 1% were under 10 years old. I was 7. I had just turned 7. And I was an activist. At 4 years old, I would stand in the movie theaters, and they would put the Castro promotions up, Castro speaking and blah, 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 blah. And I would get up and say, he's a liar. What he's saying is not true. He's going to take over, and we're going to be a communist country. My parents would have to cover my mouth and get me out of there. And then I went to a private school, although my parents were very poor. My mother was a seamstress. My father was a carpenter. I still went to private school. And when the militia came in to interrogate kids as to what their parents were saying at home, the nuns would lock me in the bathroom. And they bribed me. There was an old Coca-Cola machine there, well, what we call old, right? And they said, when you come out, we'll give you a Coke. And then they told my parents, we can't do this anymore. You need to get this child out of here because you're all going to end up, being put in jail.
Put in jail. Wow.
Because my parents were very much an anti-Castro family. And so they put me on a plane. I landed in Florida,
and
7 years old.
Alone, by yourself?
Well, it was Operation Pedro Pan, so it was all kids on Pan American Flight 95. I remember it was one of the last flights out. And we were in a refugee camp. And Castro closed the freedom flights, and then I didn't have anybody to claim me, so they placed me in a foster home in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Wow. One could say that you, through this experience, it definitely molded your mental. It did.
It began the process,
Yes.
you know, and then, of course, as you well know, you began forging your metal in
Yes.
later years and healing the wound that gets created, because a child that young doesn't understand what's going on. They don't understand the political process. They regurgitate what they hear at home, but the wounding is there. There's abandonment issues, and then I was in a foster home that was an abusive foster home, partially loving but partially abusive, and for 7 years, that's what I lived until my parents came to Miami. They were there for a few months, and then Los Angeles, where I joined them later on.
Wow. That's a story. Now there's another story about mariachi. What did you learn about mariachi, origins of mariachi?
Well, interestingly enough, I heard the music. I would hear the music in New Mexico, but I was so young. And then when I started my business in 1976, the record company that I worked for was producing the local groups here in Los Angeles, Mariachi Los Camperos de Naticano and Mariachi de Pedro Rey Los Galleros. And now we're going back, 1975.
Ooh.
And I know you weren't born yet, but let's continue.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
And so
I'll tell you after the show how old I am.
a lot of people think that Miami is really where the Latino music started, but it wasn't.
Right.
It was the genesis, the cradle of Latino music was really in Los Angeles, and it was around the Olympic Pico, Vermont area. There were a lot of little companies. The company that I worked for at the time, fresh out of high school, had the EMI label here in the United States. So for us, it was, and then that leads up to how we were included in the Grammys finally. And it's a whole process that I would have to, another show, invite me back.
with pleasure.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I loved music, and then I started producing concerts, and I started traveling through Mexico, and I just fell in love with mariachi, the acoustic sound, just like I'm in love with jazz. Jazz and mariachi are my two loves. Classical is like right there as well, because you can't almost have one without the other. But the acoustic sound of the instruments plus this amazing instrument that they have, because whenever you ever heard of a mariachi going to a cemetery and taking a microphone with them, they don't.
They don't.
They sing in the backyard, they sing at birthday parties, they sing everywhere, and they use this instrument, which is amazing. So, and they've done a lot of experiments and research that the vocal cords on a mariachi are very different than on any other singer.
Interesting.
But that's another show too.
Right, that's another show. Okay. Success came hard for you. Again, here you are a producer, and you're in a so-called man's world. You're a Latino, and you're so-called in a white person's world. All these things were going against you, but you still survived. How did you do it?
Well, I had it all going for me. I've never taken the position that, woe is me, that all these things were against me. Because I never saw them as going against me, I was just a woman on a mission of what was it's more than a passion for me. It's there's a magical thing to it. And I was just doing what I loved. And so, yes, I was the only woman producing shows all over the world. I had clients all over the world and negotiating contracts with some of the top agencies. And it's really interesting because they always thought that I was a secretary. Back then, we had secretaries, not executive assistants or assistants, right? And I said, no, I'm the person that signs the check. When I'd go on tour in South America, they thought I was a groupie or somebody's, lover, one of the musicians' sidekicks or something. And it had its challenges. And my mother would always tell me, I'd come home crying or something would happen to me. I'd be disappointed. And my mom says, let me tell you something. If you've chosen this business, then you better start taking Vaseline showers and let it slide off of you, because it isn't going to get any better. You've chosen this career. It's male-dominated, white male-dominated. So get with it. And it was just her support that got me through some of the tougher times that I had.
I'm just going to take a moment and read just a little bit of a book that we
Ay,
found.
Dios mío.
Here's some of the international work that you did. Argentina, Mexico, Chile, Brazil, Israel, and Europe, and included concerts with David Bowie, Eric Clapton, Bryan Adams, Herbie Hancock, Ella Fitzgerald, Stanley Clarke, Miles Davis, Stevie Wonder. And along the Latino concert production, you had Lola Beltran, Pedro Cebos, Gloria Estefan, and the Miami Sound Machine, and it just goes on and on and on. Wow.
I don't often hear that or even look at it, because it's sort of just, it's happened. You well know this.
Yes.
You do what you love, and you really don't look at the accolades and the awards or the people. To me, they were just like friends that I worked with, and it was just giving people what they want.
Right.
People need to feel, and you know this, Ron. Entertainment is exactly that. We give people an opportunity to feel beyond what they're able we tap them, and then they're able to open up, and we crack them open, and they feel, and they remember. It creates that memory, and that's the business I'm in.
Wow. When you go out in the field sometime, and you look and you see a band. There are thousands of bands out there, aren't there?
Well, when you think that Los Angeles has the largest number of mariachis living outside of Mexico, it's amazing. And now Texas is catching up. Mm-hmm. Texas has the music and the actual mariachi music program in the curriculum in the schools, where we don't. That's where we're lagging. Mm-hmm. And so there's tremendous educators there. They have master's programs. And here we don't even have it in first, second grade. It's ridiculous. So we have to empower our kids with music, whatever music it is. As you well know, music grows the spirit,
yes,
and it creates successful human beings. We don't want our kids to necessarily, you can aspire to be a millionaire, but we want to inspire our kids to be a successful human being, whether you choose to be a good parent, an engineer, whatever it is that you want to do, a rocket scientist, a mechanic, a doctor. We want you to be a successful human being and have conscience, so that we are never caught in the situation that we're caught in right now.
My dear, you do have a way with words.
Ooh.
Excellent. When you're out there, when you see a mariachi band, what do you look for in that band?
I look for the cohesiveness of different elements. Obviously, musicianship is very important. But from my stage at the Hollywood Bowl, you have to combine the musicianship with the showmanship. That's a mighty stage.
Yes.
Mighty stage. And you know all the great giants that have walked on that stage before.
Yes.
Sinatra, all the great jazz giants. It's endless. I went to Donna Summer. It was Donna Summer. Donna Summer, I think it was Aretha. There were 3 giants on stage. And they all forgot lyrics. Adele forgot lyrics. You walk on there, and that's the one. Barbra Streisand. Everybody forgets lyrics. They forget what they're doing, because it is so. The energy in that place is second to none in the world, and I've been on many stages all over the world. So they have to be able to carry that stage, and they all get very nervous, including me, before I get on that stage. So that showmanship and that pride.
Yes.
And it's, you're wearing a costume. You're
Yes.
not just wearing a pair of jeans and a shirt.
No.
The buckles have to be polished. The shoes shinier than ever. It's just an attitude of, the regalness of how you stand, and the excellence of that musicianship.
And
is
then
very
there's
important.
that hat.
Oh, the hat. Oh, you love the hat.
Oh, I love that
I
hat.
should have brought a hat for you, Rod. It is. That hat
marvelous.
is fabulous. The hat is tricky when you're lighting the bowl, because it creates a lot of shadow. You can't see the faces, the expression. So they start out with the hats, and then they take them off, and then they finish with a hat.
The beauty about mariachi is that it's culture. It's
Pure,
a people.
pure culture. Pure culture. And what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of our youth, including professional musicians, don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
So they're learning Spanish phonetically through the music. And so you hear a lot of people in our audience, which is pretty much a cross-pollination of what Los Angeles is. We have non-Mexican Latinos, Asian, African Americans, non-African American blacks, you name it. You name it. Anybody that drinks margarita or goes to Mexico on vacation is pretty much at the Hollywood Bowl on that day, which this year is June 22nd.
Yes. And
it's amazing, because it's not your average mariachi of 4 or 5 musicians. So you're looking at 14 and 15 strong, and it's a symphonic sound. It's quite amazing. And then we top it off with fireworks.
Yes.
So
we just saw that. Yes.
It's
Indeed.
quite a feat.
Over the years, the music has become so, for lack of a better word, good, that the President of the United States, George W. Bush, he has had them come to the White House several times.
And so did Clinton.
Yes.
Clinton had them there many times.
Yes.
And very much supported and loved Mariachi USA.
Wow.
Tom Bradley was there every single year, except the year he had his heart attack.
Wow.
He had a guayabera.
Yes.
And he was there in the boxes singing along.
Okay. When did you get your first chance to produce a concert?
Oh, my goodness. That was in 1976.
Okay.
I had left the record company, and I got a call from a record company in New York and said, hey, we've got this artist. We're breaking into the United States. We'd really like for you, to promote him. You've done so great promoting the Latin International label. And I said, okay, well, who's the artist? And they gave me all this, blah, 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 blah. And I finally said, just tell me who the artist is. And they said, well, it's Julio Iglesias. And it's his first concert, concert tour in the United States.
Julio.
I said, sure, I'll take it on. And, of course, we sold out. It was the first single artist show in Los Angeles at the Shrine Auditorium. And I say single because there were promoters that were bringing like 10, 15 artists at a time. They were called caravans of artists. Lousy sound, lousy lighting. They hardly paid the artists anything. They stuck them in a hotel, dirty, mungy hotel full of cockroaches downtown LA. And so I came in and I changed the industry pretty much for Latin music. And I'm proud to say that because of artists. Our artists have benefited from it, but so has the audience.
Wow.
And spending 2 hours listening to one artist, that's where really the concert series of Latino music began.
Got you. As a producer, there are many things. You have a checklist, things that have to be done. Like
Ay,
you talk,
ay, ay.
Please talk about some of the things.
Well, and I actually promote as well. So I'm wearing the hat of an executive producer and my line producer. And we're always fighting with each other because the line producer wants to do this, the fireworks and the this, and let's do confetti, blah, blah, blah. And then the executive producer comes in and says, no, I saw your line item on that budget. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. Okay, we'll do this. But, it's constantly negotiating back and forth. I feel like I have multiple personalities. But you need to have a good director. My director, Anthony Medrano, is from San Antonio. I fly him in. He's director of all of our shows. And then our lighting designer, Mark Meisenheimer, he was lighting Playboy Jazz for the longest time, and he's been lighting for us for the last 12 years. And then down the line, our back-end folks, our audio engineers, we sell our own tickets in-house because I've developed, the Latino market is so vast and so strong that over the last 35 years, I've amassed a mailing list that's very strong. So we sell our tickets in-house, and I need a ticket manager, and then an operations manager, and then an activations manager for our sponsors there. So altogether, we're looking at the day of the show between Hollywood Bowl staff, my staff, and the fireworks staff, about 200 and some people total.
Wow.
And I love it because I'm not a person that, although a lot of my team, it's 90% women, we need the guys in there to carry, schlep a little bit.
I'm going to tell them what you said.
But interestingly enough, it's, we teach by example.
Yes.
And so I never use the word problem. It's always we have situations that need to be remedied, and that's it. And Murphy's Law in production, anything that go wrong will. The last 2 weeks of production is sort of like Hell Week. And for me, it's Magic Week. I've changed the verbiage.
Yes.
Which you've got to do.
Oh, yeah, you've
got to change the verbiage.
You got to. As new generations come in, new
Absolutely.
people, new technology.
Speaking of new generations, 69% of our audience is Latina.
Good.
They're the ones that are holding the purse string. It's the fastest growing business segment in California.
Ouch.
And I'm proud to say that they are going to end up saving California because not only are they the fastest growing segment, they're hiring women.
Okay.
And so then the workplace is growing, and it's women at the helm. And women do make better decisions. What can I tell you, Ron?
No comment.
Kinder, more compassionate decisions.
Indeed. Now, the year when you first got your first concert, what was it, about 1990?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The first concert, the first Mariachi USA was 1990.
Right.
And I was told that I should be happy if 2,000 people showed up.
How many
and the
showed up?
2,000 people that showed up were the people that, the 2,000 number were
Yes.
people that couldn't get in. We were completely sold out.
Ouch.
And there were lines, and people wouldn't leave because they said, we don't need a seat. We're going to stay out here. We want to listen. We want to be a part of this historic event. And historic it was. Although there were a lot of naysayers that, after that first year, said, oh, well, you had Vicky Carr and Linda Ronstadt as guests, so that's why.
Yes.
Well, the second year, we didn't have Vicky Carr and Linda Ronstadt. The 10th year, we didn't have Vicky or Linda. And it was, eventually the naysayers, the power of spirit is so much stronger than naysayers.
Amen. I'll drink to that.
And here we are
Indeed.
30 years later. I don't know what they say now, but
Who cares?
who cares? Exactly.
You laugh all the way to the bank.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
Right. The year was 1991. You founded Mariachi USA Foundation. Please tell us about that.
I felt strongly that I had to grow my audiences, but I also had to grow the professional musicians and give kids a cultural point to be proud of. We didn't have music and art in school. It was taken away with Prop 13 and so many other props that are shoved down our throats, and we end up approving. And our kids are ultimately, the fall guy for everything that gets propped out. And we began a couple of school programs and in grammar schools, and then from there it went into middle schools and then into high schools. And now there's a plethora of programs all over the school for after-school programs. Some schools have been smart enough to include it in homeroom at least,
Right.
and others in curriculum.
Right.
And so I'm very, very happy that now we've got all those kids are graduating from high school.
Excellent.
And those kids perform in the plaza before
Yes.
our show. So we've got about five groups this year that are performing.
Wow.
And then we, of course, invite the kids and their parents to attend. And a lot of kids come from disenfranchised families. They would never get to the bowl otherwise. And those kids otherwise would not have an opportunity to experience, the serendipity of what music is.
Right. I have an expression when you said education, I call it the 3 E's: education, exposure, and experience.
Absolutely. They all have to go hand in hand.
Head and
Excellent.
hand, right. You get together, and that's
Excellent.
going to make it in this world. It's very competitive in this world.
It is.
Talk about the competition between mariachi bands.
Well, when I first started, there was so much competition with these professional groups that they all ran late. So let's say somebody was scheduled to be on at 8 o'clock. They would play a couple of the songs
Yes.
that the group that was going to be on at 9 played.
Yes.
That created havoc. So the next group said, "Oh, really? Watch me." So then they would play an extra 5 minutes. And then the other group would play another 10 minutes. So at the end of the night, I was fined $15,000
Ooh.
because at the Hollywood Bowl, you have a curfew.
Yes, you do.
So that didn't last very long. I started putting clauses in their contracts that if they went over, hey, it's $2,000 per minute you go over, $2,000 per song that you change, and $5,000 per minute that you go over.
Got to have a little control there.
Yeah, we have only had 2 hiccups in the 30 years. But it's it's a show that runs on time.
Yes.
I MC the show.
Yes.
And although I'm a woman of words, I choose wisely.
Thank you.
And I'm very happy to say that because of the turntable, we keep the show going. So you get almost 5 hours of
Excellent.
pure mariachi.
Because when you go to the Hollywood Bowl, which I live there almost, they're right on time. They don't play.
No,
When they say 8 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, you'll hear the sound.
absolutely.
And that's business. That's good business.
Unless an artist
Yes.
holds the show back.
Exactly.
And I'm not one to ever do that. The only reason that my show will ever be late is if security is saying, hold the house because of some security situation. Otherwise, I'm a right on time person.
Okay. Is there a category in the Grammys, either it's the regular Grammys or the Latin Grammys for mariachi?
You know,
And why not?
there is, and they were going to do away with it, and there's still talk going on back and forth. I was very privileged to be able to help create a category in the Grammys, not in the Latin Grammys. This is
Okay.
going back to, and I think you saw a photo earlier.
Yes.
And that year, I accepted the Grammy on behalf of Mongo Santa Maria, who was in New York doing an album and couldn't get there. And here I was in my little dress that my mom made me because I couldn't afford to go out and get one of those fancy dresses. So there I was, I think I weighed 110 pounds at the time.
Oh.
I accepted the award on his behalf and then gave it to him later. But they sort of threw everything in, como un arroz con mango, arroz rice with mango and everything else.
Right.
So they had the regional music and Mexican music. They had Latin jazz,
Okay.
classical. They had everything in one. And now it's quite different.
Gotcha.
And now we have, of course, the Latin Grammys, which is, well, you know what it's about.
Yeah, it's about music.
Lots of music.
Lots of music. We got just enough time to show a video that we took that was the 25th anniversary of your organization.
I thought you were going to have me for 3 hours.
Want to.
Thank you. It was beautiful to see that piece.
Isn't it? Now, something unique is happening this year. What is that, on June 22nd?
Well, we have 2 all-female groups.
Okay.
No. The unique thing, oh my goodness, how could I forget? It's our 30th. Can you believe it? We are the longest-running Latino paid event in the United States, and we're second at the Hollywood Bowl, second only to Playboy Jazz. And as you know, it's now the Philharmonic doing the jazz because Playboy isn't really involved anymore.
Okay.
So for me, it's great to see 2 female groups on that stage because we launched the very first all-female group back in 1990, 91 actually.
Right.
And then after that, female mariachis mushroomed all over the United States. We have a group coming from Florida, Mariachi Cobre from San Antonio, Mariachi Campanas de América from Mexico, 2 groups from Guadalajara, Mariachi Nuevo Tecalitlan and Mariachi Femenil Nuevo Tecalitlan. And here, LA's favorite, which is Mariachi Los Reyes. And Mujer 2000 is another excellent female group that's going to be performing. Then, of course, we've got Ballet Folklorico, Aztec dancers, myself. And I'm going to break my record this year. I'm going to change 6 times. I hold the record right now, more than Cher. I'm going to go for 6. I'm not sure I'll have time to get my shoes on like last year, but that's it. And then, of course, Fireworks finale. And this year I'm gifting every single person that comes in our poster, our beautiful poster.
Yes.
Before we go, I want to give you this.
Oh.
Because you need this in your life.
Last time I drank so much tequila, I woke up singing mariachi.
So you can start drinking mariachi.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, Ron.
Thank you.
And then you need to go home and learn the lyrics too.
Okay.
So that at least you can
All right.
singing.
Yes, ma'am.
June 22nd, our
Yes.
show starts at 6. Doors open at 4:30.
Okay.
We have a lot of entertainment in the plaza with our kids, and
Yes.
our sponsors are doing sampling.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun starting at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Doors open at 4:30. Bring in your picnic. No alcohol permitted.
Yes.
If you want tickets, you can still get them at mariachiusa.com.
Excellent. May I have your right hand, please? Here is my trademark for good luck. I hope that you will
Oh,
do
my
well
goodness.
this year.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I
And-
collect these.
Ah, interesting.
Thank you so very, very
And
much.
definitely, Rodri.
Oh,
For the ladies.
thank you,
for the
Ron.
ladies.
I can't wait to read my card. And I will save it so that when I'm 90 years old, I'll sit there and read all my cards.
Thank you.
Sir, it's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. And of course, I want to thank your publicist, Brenda Herrera. Thank her very much for.
Thank you, Brenda, for putting this together.
Oh yes, thank you, Brenda. Thank you. She's in the house, as they say, definitely. But again, come back again, please.
I will. I
Love
will
to
be
have you
here.
Come again. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Gracias,
Thank you.
señor.
Muchas gracias, as they say. Right. We're going to take a little break here. My name is Ron Brewington. This is The Actor's Choice. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography as an art is proud to offer you a $100 discount off any package photo valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. And by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Haiku, style, passion, heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. Now, the book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over half a century ago. His experience produced within him a deep, deep passion to experience Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. That's lulu.com. Now, Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and the Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a new book by author Larry Buford. It's a historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon, so please get your copy today. And now a word from State Farm agent Carla Green.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just 4 walls and 4 wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Finally, if you have a product I jumped ahead of myself because we've got a fabulous deal going on here with our organization. Now, the Actors' Choice, we started a contest before, and a lot of people participated in it. Well, we're going to go back and do it again. We got 2 contests starting today and running through July 17th. You'll have a chance to win a pair of tickets to one of 3 summer blockbuster films. And then the second contest is from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. They're hosting a tribute to director Michael Schultz. They will also show the cult classic film of the 1970s, Cooley High, and we're giving away 2 tickets for the event. For more information, please go to our website at www.theactorschoice.la.org/summer-at-the-movies. Let me say that one again. www.theactorschoice.la.org/summer-at-the-movies. That's summer-at-the-movies. But look it up. That's our website. Get a chance to see what it's all about. Get some good information about us. Okay? We are rolling and looking very good these days. I couldn't ask for a better day. We got 2 beautiful ladies here in the house today, and I just want to let folks know we are very, very happy with what we're doing. Roll it.
Coming through, we're coming through. Listen, boy, 'cause all I want is you. And if our love is really true, yo, let me do what I need to do. Baby, read my lips, I'm safe, it ain't my style. We're grown ass women, we go that extra mile. Move on to the next, 'cause I'll be just fine. You know we make it hot, you know we make it worth your while. Come on, baby, I'm worth it. I thought you put a restraining order out against him.
No, she had a temporary one. Right, Ceci?
So you're gonna file for a permanent one, right? I'd have to cancel practice, so... You missed regionals because Pedro almost tried to kill you. Now you're worried about practice? We're scared that if you get back with that psycho, you might not make it out alive.
My next guest is a Latin American actress, singer, and dancer born and raised in Miami, Florida. Now, after graduating from the University of Florida, she toured the entire west coast of the United States, performing in over a dozen musicals. Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. She now lives here in the City of Angels, pursuing film and television. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vivian Marie Lamolli. Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Definitely welcome to the Actors' Choice.
Such a pleasure.
What a nice way to get into this business. First, you get an education.
Yes.
And then you go and get some work.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way to do it, right?
Right.
Get those skills under your belt and life skills, too. I feel like going to University of Florida really just made an impact on my education in a whole worldly way too, cultural way. And that helps you to play different roles, and it also led to different opportunities for work. They gave us opportunities for like the Southeastern Theater Conference, a lot of other Eastern theater conferences, just different things that you can get into while you're going to school.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So I have to ask this question. What was the change like for you coming from the East Coast here to the West Coast? What was that like?
Very different.
Very different.
I will say, just aside from the weather and everything,
yes.
Just, people, energies. I believed that really being in Los Angeles and Hollywood was going to be the way to break into television and film. Mm-hmm. So doing a lot of theater on the East Coast, a lot of my family is on the East Coast, so I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit by myself, but that helps me to focus as much as I need to with my career.
I saw a recent album in a trade publication, and what it mentioned is that either going from the East Coast to the West Coast or West Coast to the East Coast, there are pluses and minuses on both coasts. Oh. I mean, when you go I'm from New York.
Oh, okay.
And it's cold back there.
Yes.
You come out here to Cali, it's not cold out here most of the time.
No, most of the time, right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess not cold to us.
Yeah, we don't see
no you see people here and they'll be like, bundled up when we're like, this is nice. I'm from Florida, Miami, Florida, and then by way of Orlando as well. So I would say, there's pluses and minuses all over the United States.
Yes.
I think taking in all seasons on the East Coast is quite nice. but also being able to lay out in the sun in October here is is pretty nice, right?
It is. That's why we came here. Yes.
Exactly.
And it's interesting because there are actually two Californias: Northern California and Southern California.
There are, and I
Yes.
think Northern California sees a lot of the seasons.
Yes. It's very cosmopolitan. It reflects it acts like New York up there.
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
The bay is
Love
really
it.
beautiful.
Now you now have 21 IMDb credits. Not bad for the short time you've been in the business.
I think it's okay, right?
It's okay. Yeah, you know, I mean, as I went through
hope.
your resume and I saw something very unique. Number one, you always get a job every year since you've been in this business. You always get a job. Number two, I found that you seem to like TV series roles the best. Is that true?
Well, what keeps me working, right? No, but as far as I'm concerned, television is really how I got my start.
Yes.
But shooting something like East Los High, which was the very first series that I was in here in LA, was huge break, amazing people, amazing production. But I digress because what I'm basically saying is they shot it cinema style, like feature film style. So it kind of got me ready for all of the films and work I'm doing now.
I can see that. Obviously, it did. Yeah, it's a real good. Your first IMDb acting credit came from a talk show that you were in called guest on it was a TV series. Let me see if I can say this right. Noches con Platanito.
Get it.
Did I
You
get it?
did. That's right.
All right, working
I'm
on
going to
it.
give you a little high five for
Hey,
that
give me
one.
the high five.
Look at that. I'm
Trying to
impressed.
get it together.
Honorary Latino.
Ah,
Right?
ole.
Yeah. Why? You got a couple of Latinas today, so that's
yes,
great.
Yes, we like to mix it up on this show. We really we go in all directions because that's what the world is out there.
Of course, culturally and gender-wise and everything. It's major these days. But yes, Noches con Platanito was so much fun.
And you said that pretty good.
Honorary.
Honorary.
Thank
I
you.
got you.
Thank you so much. My yaya would be proud.
Yes. Okay.
My
Stop thinking about
nana,
it. What is
my
that?
grandmother.
Okay. Grandmother, yes, of course. Do you remember that role that you had?
In Noches?
Yes.
Well, that was that's his talk show. So we basically really dove in, and I got my Spanish skills on
Yes.
deck with that.
Yes.
Because we spoke about East Los High, Casey Undercover on Disney, a lot of the TV roles that I've booked over the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, 2015, that has been so far the best year for you.
Thank you.
You
Thank
had
you so
7
much.
roles that year.
What, did I?
Yes, you did. I
I'm
counted
thinking,
them
I'm
up.
like,
You had
wait a
7
second.
roles,
Yeah.
including Once Upon a Time, the rock opera.
Yes. Oh, wow.
You played what, Ursula?
Ursula, I did. Look at you. Yes, all of those things, all facts.
7 roles.
That was an honor and a privilege.
Gotcha.
Because the series on the ABC network is, had such longevity, and it was an amazing show. And going from that into something that was called the rock opera was just so, I was over the moon for it because I was singing.
Right.
It got me back into my musical theater roots. I have to shout out the cast and the director and the writer, Aaron Steegman Marrero and Ace Marrero. They are a married couple, so that was fun to work with.
Yes.
2 people who are just, at it every day.
Every day,
We
yes.
became a family, and we shot in Big Bear, and it was really, really beautiful. Very mystical, magical. I love playing roles that, you can lose yourself in and imagination.
Because I know sometimes actors, we ask them, do you really take the character of that role?
I love it.
But do you take it home with you?
Sometimes I'll wake up and be like, wait, am I Ursula? What's going on? No, but honestly, since I have a musical theater background,
Yes.
I love big characters and fantastical stuff, but also, to be just one-on-one and have a real human conversation, you should take that, and I mean, I don't know, to any aspiring actors as well, I would say taking yourself and putting it in every single role that you have is so important, even if it's, an alien
Gotcha.
or something.
Gotcha. Vivian, when you went to the theater and saw yourself on the big screen for the first time, how'd you feel?
Well, I will say one specific experience of something that I saw of myself with family. I was with my brother and his partner, and we were there, and it was just so cool to be sitting in the middle of them and in the middle of the two of them and just watching everything going on and them taking it in as well. I think more for me, it's about my friends and family who experience it with me. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, I have to sit back and really say, thank God, and feel blessed. And I'm just so grateful, and I feel very blessed to be able to see something like that. I'm also a little critical.
Yes.
But
Yes, the family, I know they love what you're doing.
thank you.
Yes.
That means so much.
Yes, indeed. The family, that's what it's all about. Definitely.
Thank you.
2017, the same. You had the same employment record. That year, you had 5 jobs, including a role in the TV series East Lost High.
That's the one.
Now, you were in that from, 2014 all the way up through 2017, so you were just moving right along.
Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's nice to have a paycheck coming in.
Right?
Particularly
Let's
when
be
you live in this
real.
town.
Yeah.
It's a little expensive in this
When
town.
you live in
Yes.
this town and when you're pursuing what it is that you love.
Yes.
Being an actor full time is I couldn't ask for more. I feel grateful and blessed once again. But East Los High was something that really gave me my break here as far as a television actor.
Good. Well, let's take a look at East
Oh,
Los
okay.
Angeles. Let's take a look at it, okay?
Cool. Hi. So I heard you're a DJ. Are you any good?
I just got an internship at R&R Records.
Well, I'm Philly,
Nick.
and I'm on the music committee for Homecoming. We really need a DJ.
Cool, what's it pay?
Nothing.
Damn, I gotta work for free sign my forehead?
Well, you get 2 free tickets, and I'm available.
It's still available.
Wait, so does that mean you'll do it? Yes. Don't worry.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Wow.
Signature move, right?
Yes, signature move, right. Who's the guy? We have a weatherman here in this town. 11 o'clock. See, weather at 11, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
The Dallas Rangers.
He does like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, he does. By the way, he just celebrated 35 years here in L.A. on doing the weather. 35 years.
I mean,
wow.
listen, from your lips to God's ears for all of our careers.
Amen.
It's amazing.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Now, right now, you're doing a lot better than a lot of folks. Like I said, I keep saying this for a reason, because there's a lot of people who come here to L.A. with illusions of grandeur. And you got to have a few things in this business that's going to help you. Number one, a publicist, a manager, an artist. You got a great publicist, Camille L. Cortez Lopez.
That's right.
Espada
PR.
Oh, yes, indeed. Having all these to help mold your career, giving you advice. Mm-hmm. That's what they do.
Definitely.
They're paid to do that.
Well, I think that's amazing that's one of the things that you mentioned, because honestly, I have an entire team of female right now, female team.
Okay.
And we just, it's really nice to have that energy and have that understanding from a female perspective. And just leaders who have come before me to give that advice and have me really hone in on my talent and my work and culture at the same time. We're badass Latinas. Can I say that?
You just did.
I know, you're right, I did.
You just said it.
So, but yes, it is really wonderful. And I would say, yes, representation is so important, but also believing in yourself and persevering and never, we might have a tendency to be our own worst enemy. And at the end of the day, we really have to search inside and just keep pushing. Never quit.
Never.
Never.
And as a Latina, as you know, there's a lot of people have problems getting awards. Hispanics, Asian, get these problems. It's been around for a long time. How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I'm glad that we're touching upon this subject because of the fact that I'm optimistic that it's changing, that the world is changing, that we're all viewing all of our cultures as necessary because it's real on TV and in film and in plays and, on the stage. I think that it's so important to know that there's not one race or culture or way of life. And I believe that the accolades, they need to come even more so. It's a shame that not as many Hispanic and Latinos have won awards. You do have Rita Moreno and Gina Rodriguez and Raul Julian and just people who really have been paving the way for myself and more actors to come, but I'm optimistic that it's changing.
Good, because they have a comment in this business, and I say it, and I love to say it. People of color, we want to see somebody up on TV that looks just like us too.
Right, you want to relate to that.
Right, can relate to that, right? It's all cultures. It's just different cultures. We're all a big pot.
Exactly.
Now, have you, as you look to your future, all the history is behind you now. But as you look into your future, what do you see yourself doing? Director, maybe?
Ooh, wow! Thank you for.
Yeah.
That is an aspiration and a goal, and working with so many directors who inspire me and who I look up to. I absolutely would love that hat. I mean, that's something that I'm working for right now and working towards, especially as an actor. I believe that any director who has worked with me and in the history in our past, if they've been in front of the camera,
Right.
that is such an asset. That's you know exactly as an actor what you're doing and what you would like to see from that actor, or help them pull it out of them with that sort of emotion. I have a great example, Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born. I mean, that was just so compelling to be directing Lady Gaga and also himself. And then also, acting in the film and wearing that hat too.
Yes, he certainly did a great job.
Amazing.
Yeah. Definitely. Now, here we're only halfway through this year, 2019, and already you have a film called The Miseducation of Lil Tito in post-production. Can you tell us about that movie?
Of course, and I love how you pronounce it. That's right.
I'm trying to get there.
He's that was a really fun little project to work on. It went to Sundance.
Yes.
Super cool. Very modern, very contemporary, very social media driven. I don't want to give too much away about it because I know people are gonna go check it out.
Good.
But it's my role was very, very fun, very bubbly. Had to do with social media as well, and she played a bit of a loca, which means crazy.
Crazy.
Which means a little crazy. And when I get to play that kind of stuff and be just out there,
Yes.
it's fun.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
So I believe that it's going to, and it has been doing really well.
Excellent. Hollywood is showing you good times right now because of the work that you've done over the years. And you got a movie that you're currently shooting right now called The Latin from Manhattan.
That is a working title right now.
Okay.
And it is about Miss Vanessa Del Rio.
Tell us about it.
Vanessa Del Rio was the very first Latin American adult star. And she grew up in your hood. Harlem, but New York City, Spanish Harlem, and it's just been so riveting to be on set with heavy hitters and amazing actors that I just look up to so much, and also just really honing into her life and it being more about female empowerment and just owning herself, owning her body, owning her sexuality. And just being that pioneer for women to have a voice in that realm. And also there's a lot of things that were going on in the golden age of adult filmmaking, which was, it's a period piece.
Gotcha.
So late 70s, early 80s. And it touches upon everything, from what was going on there politically, along with in the entertainment industry.
Gotcha. So how do you feel about getting such a role with so many heavy actors like Morales is out there? You say Morales?
Yep, Isai Morales.
Yes.
He is just, what a gem. And congratulations to him. I know he's shooting a wonderful series right now too, but Isai, I grew up watching him. And I don't want to give away too much again.
That's okay.
But yeah, exactly. Everyone will get there.
Okay.
But yes, Isai is wonderful, along with Drea De Matteo, Taryn Manning, Jesse Metcalf. He, that was revealed quite recently that we're working together as well. And I'm just so blessed. Elizabeth Rodriguez, if I didn't mention her, she's wonderful as well. So working with all of these actors who have come before me, I can take a second to just be honored and humbled by their work and their consistency, and just being able to interact with them is so. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. I go home off set and I'm just like, this is crazy.
This is crazy, and it's going to get better.
Thank you.
It's going to get better, definitely.
Thank you.
How are you relating to the role that you're in now, both on and off the set?
For Vanessa?
Yes.
Oh, well. I should say Vanessa, she is still with us today.
Yes. Oh, yes.
She is currently still in the New York City area, and she's just, first of all, kind of like a tia to me, a titi, which is auntie.
Yes.
And speaking with her and just talking about her struggles and things like that, it kind of feels like, wow, it doesn't really... It does get better for the Latin American culture, but at the same time, we're still set apart. Yeah. And the way that I feel like I can, I guess, fit into her heels, if you will, her high heels,
yes,
is just knowing and realizing as a young lady, as a young woman, playing this role, there's so many advantages and so much education I can take from how she lived her life on and off set. She's a very intelligent woman. I mean, education, intellectual, street smart. It's so awesome to have so many of those vibes and so many of those things relating to her.
It's fun being an actress, isn't it?
Oh, so much fun.
Got your trailer, got your script. What part of the set do you like when you're on there?
What part of the set?
What part is the set? I'll tell you mine.
Man. Yeah. No, well, do you want to give me yours first?
Where the food is at.
Ooh, where the food is at. Crab. I love that. Can I give another one for that one?
Crab services.
And you make friends with everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, I love being relatable to every person on set. I think that's probably one of my favorite things.
Yes.
From the sound engineer, or from sound guy, boom guy, even the boom sound engineer, along with obviously when producers stop by, or my director, anyone, our production assistants, anyone who is on set, hair and makeup, trailer, everyone is working towards this film and the job, and we're all doing this together. No one is better, no one is lesser, no one is this or that. I love making friends with everybody. I think the interaction is what I love the best.
Great attitude.
With everybody.
Great attitude, because that's one of the things we need in this town is great attitude.
Thank you.
Indeed.
It's easy.
Well, yes, it is.
It's easy to be sweet and nice
But you got ego. You got to work with ego.
Sometimes, yes.
You got to work with him. When you're not acting, where can we find you? What do you do then when you're not acting?
Well, acting is in every... No, just
she's going to do that. Oh, no.
Speaking of ego... No, just kidding. I always like to throw in a little joke here and there. No, I'm just kidding. Yoga.
Yoga.
Is that something that, I know that I just put it out there in one word.
Yes.
Yoga.
Yoga. I do it myself.
Do you?
No, wait a minute. I eat yogurt. Excuse me.
Oh, you eat yogurt. Yogurt or yoga.
Yeah,
you could eat yogurt and do yoga.
Yes, you can.
You could do both. They could go, hand in hand. But yoga it's breath. It's life. It's feeling really good about myself. I surf as well. So that's another thing why I love living on the West Coast. The surf out here, Pacific Ocean, is different. And, just bettering myself always.
Okay.
Trying to practice every kind of skill as a dancer, singer. I also sing, so I have a little bit of few shows going on right now, too.
Right. Which goes to show you back in the days when you're an actor or an actress, you really had one skill, to be or not to be. Now you have to do everything.
Right.
You have to sing, you have to dance, you have to do all these things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's beneficial. It's something that you're working, you're massaging every muscle. You're singing, dancing, and within acting, if you're moving your body and having your breath work be that you're that much better for it.
Yes.
I believe.
Good story. Good story. Yes, indeed. How much do you follow the social media?
Do you follow in general?
Just in general.
Well, I have social media.
I understand.
And I have, a pretty good following, I would say. It can get a little addictive.
Yes.
Not gonna lie. It's a little, I find myself going to bed and then being like, Maybe I want to check Instagram one more time. No, it's social media, it can be a good thing, if used the right way and not abused.
Okay.
I definitely, I follow Will Smith religiously. I love his posts. I love, there are a few people out there that I really like to watch their work and their jokes and their improv and just kind of going off the cuff with stuff. But I'm an avid social media user.
Excellent. Excellent. One of these days you'll be able to put all this into a book and say, this is what I did. I came in this year, I did that, I did this. I became a director, I did this.
That's right.
Yes,
You know what? That has not gone missed on me because I am actually working on a skeleton right now just for my life.
Okay.
Because it begins when you take your first breath,
Yes. Yes.
So remembering things from my childhood into my years now is like really cool.
Any future plans you can talk about that you're doing?
Well, I think touching upon the movie and everything, I don't know if I can say too much more about stuff, but I will say that there is a series right now, a pilot that I did a few months ago that it just won in a festival and it's receiving distribution. So we will see where that takes it as well.
Right. Okay. Any roles that you particularly like to do? Comedy, drama?
Oh, I love it all. I love it all.
Okay.
All.
Okay.
Yes, comedy, drama. I feel like once you tackle one or the other, it's nice to kind of combine them.
Yes.
Or have them be coincide. But yes, I'm grateful and blessed for all of the work that I receive.
Gotcha. Can you look in that camera and tell our people, especially younger people who want to get into this business, can you give them some advice, please?
Well, we kind of touched upon it earlier, but I would say never give up. I mean, if you have a dream and you have a goal and, there are means to get there. And I would just say continue to strive for that and persevere and drink your water. I'm sorry, drink your water and stay healthy and physically fit.
Healthy, yes.
There are so many things that can be a detriment to our health these days. And be kind to one another and continue to follow your dreams.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope that they'll listen to you. We get a lot of people, young people, that they watch this show to see what they can, what advice can I get off of it, or out of it. And we thank you for that. May I have your right hand, please?
My right hand.
Your right hand, yes. I'm going to give you my silver dollar. I give this for good luck.
Oh, this feels really nice. Oh, who
Roses
are
for the
you?
lady.
I feel like it's I don't know.
It's a coming out day.
My birthday or something. Look at how
Coming out day.
sweet.
We wish we had more time to spend with you, but I want to thank you for coming out.
Party with you all day.
Hey, we could do that too. But I want to let you know, thank you. Best wishes.
Thank you.
That you'll do well, and I'll see your name up on the marquee. I knew that young lady way back when.
Well, you'll be at the premiere.
That's what we're trying to work something out.
Yeah, we got to make that happen.
Gotta make that happen. Okay. I like biopics. I always did like biopics. Yes, indeed. Special thanks to our sponsors: Harvey Brandman, Photography as an Art; Ron Irwin's Haiku Style, Passion Heart; Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule; and State Farm agent Carla Green. Again, much thanks to our guest today, producer, artist Rodri J. Rodriguez, and actress Vivian Marie Lamolli. Please come on back again. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience that we've got. Without them, we wouldn't be doing what we do.
That's right.
We'll talk to you later.